Remove the idea of quality from anything and that thing will become one thing. What does Robert Pirsig mean by the given statement? The given statement is in the last paragraph. As Robert Pirsig said, the proof of existence of quality lies simply in this thought. Remove the idea of quality from anything and that thing will become one thing. If all aesthetic qualities were removed from all of the shoes in the world, for instance, soon every person would be wearing the same pair of shoes. It would be the longest lasting, least expensive shoe because there is no longer an issue of style or color or brand name to influence the choice. The deciding factor of aesthetic quality is gone. So let's look at the options. Option A says the sense of aesthetics will get lost by removing the idea of quality from anything. This is very close, but there's a slight distortion here. Remove the idea of quality from anything, that connects with the last part. That is almost a direct reference, a word by word direct reference, but the sense of aesthetics will get lost. First off, that is distorted because we are talking about sense of we're talking about aesthetic quality, not sense of aesthetics. We are saying that aesthetic quality, the qualities that define these things as different or unique, those would be lost. We are not talking about an understanding of aesthetics or a sense of aesthetics. Second thing, this also does not talk about the aspect of the issue of style or color or brand name being different. So in a way, this is almost a restatement of the question itself. If aesthetic quality is gone, if aesthetic value is gone, or not aesthetic value, but then aesthetic quality is gone, then what would happen to a thing? If we look at it logically, the question actually answers itself. It says that thing will become one thing. As in the case of shoes, it would just be the one shoe, the longest lasting, least expensive shoe, because there is nothing to set one shoe apart from the other, as in style, color, brand name. None of that exists. So we find that A is slightly distorted. We can eliminate it. Option B says, individuality would be lost if we were to remove the distinctive essence of a thing. Quite correct. Inferential, but still correct. Individuality would be lost, yes. As we've already seen, that thing will become one thing because there would be no individual differences differentiating one thing from another. So it'll just be that one thing. For example, it'll be that one shoe, which is the longest lasting, least expensive shoe, because we've removed the idea of quality, aesthetic quality, that is gone. The deciding factor, hence, is gone. Thus, the distinctive essence of a thing, something that differentiates it from other things of the same category. So things such as style, color, or brand name, which differentiate one shoe from another, one pair of shoes from another, or one product from another, all of that is gone. So if we remove the distinctive essence, then individuality of that particular thing is lost and it becomes just one thing. That one thing which is the best quality, that is longest lasting, least expensive shoe. So we want to get the shoe that lasts the longest. We don't want to compromise because the color of a shoe is better, or the brand name is better, or rather brand name comes later, or the style is different. That said, it would be the most comfortable, the longest lasting shoe, the least expensive because brand name is not there. So oftentimes we see that in shoes, in fact, in a lot of apparel, a lot of clothes and things that we wear, many of the products overall that we use, an aspect of quality, or rather an understanding of quality, more than that, an aspect of cost, something becoming expensive, comes from brand name or brand value. If that is gone, people will not buy shoes which are expensive. They'll just buy shoes which are the least expensive. They are the most affordable. So B is a valid choice. Option C tells us people would be nothing but soulless conformities if their perception of quality is lost. Now, again, there are a few distortions here. People would be nothing but soulless conformities. Soulless, maybe. too much of an exaggeration. We are not taking away their soul. We're taking away the individuality of things that people use. And then again, conformities. Why conformities? We're not talking about people conforming to something, people just using the same thing because there is nothing to differentiate that thing from other things. If only one type of shoe exists, if there is no concept of style or color or brand name, then everyone would be wearing the same kind of shoe because there is nothing to differentiate one pair of shoes from another. But that doesn't mean that people are conforming to something. People are being forced to follow something. They have to follow something, or they are compelled to follow something. Not necessarily. So again, that's quite an exaggeration, which makes it a distortion. Then also, if their perception of quality is lost, no, quality itself is lost. Remove the idea of quality from anything, the aesthetic quality is gone. The perception, not necessarily. Perception is, it is gone, but we would rather, there's a better way of constructing this by stating that the very idea of that thing is gone. It's not that their perception of quality is lost. Quality itself doesn't exist. So this also is slightly different. By comparison, B is much better. So overall, this option is quite distorted. We can eliminate it. Option D says, the idea of appreciating anything for its unique quality of style would be gone if aesthetic value is lost. Now, again, we have distortion here. The idea of appreciating anything for its unique quality of style would be gone. That is a distortion because we are not talking about appreciating something. We're saying that style itself, the idea of color differences, brand differences, that is gone, because aesthetic quality itself is gone. So the idea of appreciating anything, yes, inferable from aesthetic quality, but then again, that's not quite there, quite as strong as option B. Also, it is stated here, that's the bigger distortion. If its aesthetic value is lost, aesthetic quality is gone. We are not talking about aesthetic value. That's different. Aesthetic value might exist in a thing which still remains absolutely the same and not unique in any way. It is just the most common thing that everyone uses. So what the passage is talking about is aesthetic quality, not exactly aesthetic value. These are slightly different. So again, by comparison, D is a better choice. So we can eliminate D. The most appropriate option is option B.